I had this idea on my mind since my last game jam, and this Christmas I had some free time. So I organized my first personal game jam. And as obvious it sounds, I was the only participant. And as usual as it is, at Christmas, I went to my childhood home in the countryside. It had a very simple rule set. There is a theme, there are 8 hours, and make something fun from scratch. I wanted a theme that restricts the art style so I could focus on the gameplay more. And I could come up with a nice innovative mechanic, because during my previous jams I wanted everything to be perfect, which caused everything to be mediocre. I wanted to fix that. Lately I've been thinking about Warren Robinette's adventure, so I came up with a theme. 8 colors, 8 hours. And also the date was decided. The jam would be at December the 23rd. The next morning I woke up and I had this feeling of nostalgia. I went down for breakfast and then brewed some coffee. I went up to my room and decided that I will start at 9. And let's go. And I immediately started brainstorming. Two hours in and I had some ideas, but I couldn't decide between making a repeatable algorithmic game and a one-time playable game. Then I remembered that one of my goals was to finally publish something on Steam, even if it's just a fun to play only once game for free. And I also remembered that I always liked making simple, versatile puzzles in my teens, for example in Warcraft or in Minecraft. So I decided that I'm going to make a platformer puzzle game. I could even play that with my newly bought controller. But there is always a main mechanic in a puzzle game. What will be mine? And also I should quickly come up with a nice minimalistic art style. And then Robinette's adventure hit me again. Well, I got only 6 hours left, so I thought I will stick to that kind of art style. In the worst case I will change it. It will be good enough for prototype. And while I was there I decided that my main mechanic will be exploration. While the player explores the non-linear world, he will meet various puzzles and various mechanics. And I will come up with the details later. So I quickly created the palette, which will be also good for a tileset, I thought. And luckily I had to spend more than 1 hour on setting up the tile map, the layers, and fixing a lot of small issues because, well, this was just my second time with platformers. And then, after a quick lunch break, I implemented the player's movement under half an hour. It was no big deal because I could just copy it from my previous platformer with some minor tweaks. In the next hour or so, I generated sounds with BFXR. During that time I came up with lots of ideas, but for now I wanted just basics. So I stick with a very retro sound effect style and then added them to the game. And after this I implemented holdable objects. The player can pick up, carry and drop them. I also implemented an interactable object framework which lets the player interact with things in a generic way. But sadly these new features came with new bugs, and also forgotten ones surfaced from my previous game. Like falling through the ground, not recognizing jumps, sticking to walls, and many more. After messing around for 1 hour, they were fixed, but it was worth it because I learned a lot. I just hope that till next time I won't forget it. I got 45 minutes left, so let's make some scene elements. I quickly made some color-coded doors and their keys. There was only a small issue, and it was fixed a few minutes later. And finally, my time was up, but I still wanted to fix some visual glitches. Some of them got fixed, but after 20 minutes of overtime, I just decided to replace them with something simple but working. After 8 hours and 24 minutes, I'm finally done. Sadly, I messed up the scope again, like always. There's nearly zero content, only a framework. For a 48-hour gem I need 72, for an 8 hours one I need 24. Someday I hope I will be better at scope, or I will just manage to discipline myself somehow, so I could work 3 or 4 times faster. I didn't come up with a new, glorious, revolutionary mechanic which will change the world, but I'm proud of the product and learned a lot, which will definitely spare some time for me in the future. And maybe I will continue working on this game, and hopefully something fun to play will emerge. I really recommend these short session game jams because today I learned a lot, and it was a pretty effective day. And now I'd like to ask you something. Have you participated in a personal jam before? If yes, what was your experience with it? And if not, why not? If you enjoyed this video, just hit the subscribe button. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.